Hello, everybody. This is Gary Matheny. Thank you for joining me today for Liberty Observatory, unvarnished, undiluted, unedited, organic commentary on religion, on politics, from a liberty perspective, plus other matters that come before us. For whatever reason, we'll comment upon those as well. Thank you for joining me today. We do have a question today, and that question is, what was the strangest or perhaps worst thing you have ever eaten? What is the strangest or worst thing you have ever eaten? Well, first of all, I was born and raised in St. Louis. I live 75 miles south of St. Louis in a small community. And so I was raised Midwestern. You know, there's just no doubt about it. I have Midwestern tastes, and that probably puts me in the steak and potato crowd, which, I like steak and potatoes. And it probably eliminates me from most exotic foods. If it's an exotic food, like some of the sushis, I have been to a sushi bar before, but I don't like it all. Maybe nobody does. Some of these exotic fish dishes, don't like. In fact, if you ask me my favorite fish, I would probably say catfish and cod. Catfish is a bottom dweller. My wife's from Minnesota, and she tells me the Minnesotans who have 10,000 lakes and some really great fishing, that they look at catfish as a junk fish, kind of like gar or something like that, bottom dweller. Where in Missouri, I won't go so far as to call it a delicacy, but a lot of Missourians like fried catfish, including myself. So you pretty much nix all the exotic foods. I'm not going to go there. But there are qualified foods that I like. When I say qualified, it means in quotes, I guess. Because some of the dishes I like and some of the dishes I don't. Qualified likeness would be German. My mom was German. And in the community I live in, about 6 or 8 miles away, they've got a Catholic church, which basically is a German Catholic church. It's a German community where it's at. And they have authentic German food every once in a while. I'll have a dinner with authentic German food, and, the authentic German food is spiced away I don't particularly like. American German food, you Americanize something and I pretty much like it. And I mentioned Japanese food. Some sushi I like and some I don't. I don't really find any appealing, to be honest with you. I don't go to a Japanese restaurant that serves sushi by preference. Well, I would say Indian food, not really. The curries I don't like. They're not appealing to me from an appetite perspective, nor do they taste any good. I would like to think that there's some Indian food out there I would like. Malaysian food, which is an interesting story. I've had Malaysian food in Columbia, Missouri in 1985. And I was going to a church at that time that had a multicultural, international outreach to the student community in Columbia. And so one of the guys in our church who was Malaysian, had an authentic Malaysian dinner that he prepared. And so you had the coal black guy from the South. You had the dark brown guy from Malaysia. You had the light brown guy from the Philippines. And you had the white guy, me. And I remember thinking when I was having that dinner that, I don't have to travel around the world. I let the world come to me. It's kind of like you can get the international experience here in Columbia, Missouri, if you travel in the right circles, so to speak. And my Malaysian dinner was pretty good. I think I had a chicken neck. And they had a brown curry, which was tolerable. So it was kind of like it was a great meal. I should say it was a good meal, but not a great meal. Interesting more than anything else. And then you get into some other ones like French, English, and Swedish. In northern U.S., the northern states like Minnesota and Wisconsin, you can go to some Swedish restaurants. And it's probably more than anything else. I don't particularly enjoy the spices that they use with English food, with Swedish food. There is some French food that I like, but some of it is very, very rich. I think they like creamed cheese a lot, but who knows? And so, which foods do I make a unqualified endorsement? Which ones do I really like? Italian. It's hard for me not to like anything Italian. In fact, pizza, it may be the number one thing on my mind when I'm traveling, like up in Chicago or someplace like that. I want to get some Chicago-style pizza because I like pizza and I like tasting pizza from various parts of the country. And they've got 6 or 8 different types of pizza, probably 16 or 18 different types of pizza, but I'm aware of 6 or 8 from all over the country: Detroit, New York style, St. Louis style, New Haven style, yada, yada, yada style. And so pizza is really good. And Italian food is really good. Chinese and Thai, like those foods. I probably don't like everything on the menu, but I like Chinese and Thai. Of course, American food, the steak and potatoes or the hamburgers, the barbecue pork steak with coleslaw. It's kind of like, I'm an American. I was raised and live in the Midwest, so there's not much American food that I don't like. And then Mexican food, like Mexican food. Generally speaking, like Mexican people. The Mexicans in the Midwest tend to be very decent, hardworking people, and I like their restaurants. So I like Mexican food. I'm trying to remember of anything on a Mexican menu that I wouldn't really like. I do like their breakfast Mexican, Rancho Navarros, and everything's good. And then, so the last question is, what was the strangest or the worst? Well, it goes to India. Many years ago, I guess 8 or 10 years ago, I had a daughter that likes curry food and likes authentic Indian food. And we made a trip up to St. Louis County to go to an authentic Indian restaurant. And when I say authentic, it was capital A authentic. There wasn't, a lot of authentic restaurants will throw in a couple of items that are American food. It's kind of like, we know there are people that come here that don't like Indian food, and they're probably here with a family member. So let's at least get a steak on the menu. But not this Indian restaurant. It was 100% authentic Indian. And so, trying to be safe, I ordered chicken. I like chicken. And, but every chicken dish that they had a curry. Well, maybe I did the eeny, meeny, miny, mo type thing. I didn't really know what curry to order. None of it looked real tasty. So I had to get a curried chicken. And it was probably one of the few times, maybe the only time in my life that I can remember, that I picked over my food. You know, you see kids, they're sitting at the dinner table, they're served something you don't like, and they'll just pick over it. They'll push it from one corner to the other corner, maybe acting like they're tasting it or eating it when they're not really. They're just pushing it around. They're picking through it. And so curried chicken, authentic Indian food, is the strangest food I've had. And it could have been the curry. Maybe I ordered the wrong curry. But anyhow, you won't be seeing me, and I don't hate it, but you won't be seeing me soon in an authentic Indian restaurant. Thank you very much.